everybody. My name is Gideon Intibuatin. This is my first time creating a YouTube video. Today I'll be showing a simple way to create a game in Java. The game is called the Number Guesser game. So let's get started. So first, this is what you're going to do. When you open your Eclipse IDE, you go to File, then click on New. Okay, yeah. Then you click on Java Project. They enter the title of the project, the name of the project you want to provide in here. So I'll provide the game. Let me say the game. All right, the game. Then go to next. Then you uncheck the create model info.java file. Uncheck that one. Then you click on finish. All right, so now we are done. So you have to locate where we save this file. So this is how we call it, the game. All right, so let's open this bar. Then when you highlight on the SRC, that's the source folder, then you come back here and click on this one. Then you come to other here, right? Then you choose JFrame. No, this I've already installed Java Swing into my IDE, so that's why I'm able to do all this. So in case you want to be able to do this, you first have to install Swing in your IDE before you can do these things. Yeah. So when you click on the JFrame, then you click on next. Then you provide a name. So let me say Guesser game, right? Guesser game, right? I think that's all. Then you click on finish. All right, so here we are. This is what we've had now. Okay, so now this is the whole thing. These are defaults codes that will be provided when you first open. Yeah. So this is the source. Then we also have the design. So this is the place where we're going to start inputting this component from Swing. So there are a lot of components here that we're going to use here. All right. So first, let me increase the size of my frame here. You see, initially it looks very small, right? So I have to first increase it small. So let me go to my source. Then here under my set bounds, let me add this code, set size. Then let me say 900. That's the width, and the height is, let me say 850. Now add this one, semicolon. Then let me come back to the design. So now you see it has increased a little bit, right, as compared to the initial one that we just saw. All right, so now we're going to add our component here. So to begin with, you first have to decide how you're going to enter or maybe drop this component here. You can't just drop a component, let's say this or that here, but you first have to make the layout. You have to decide on the layout first. So I prefer using the absolute layout. So this is the absolute layout. When I click on it, then I'll drop it here. Okay. All right. Now this is what you're going to do. The game is this way. It's the number guesser game. It's between a user and a computer. So the user will enter a number between 0 and 9, and the computer will also suggest a number between 0 and 9 randomly, and there will be another number, that's the target number, that will also be generated by the computer. That one to be random, right? So what will happen is you're going to compare the value of the user, what the user inputted, and the value that the computer will also decide. We're going to compare these two to the target number. So the one that seems very close or equal to the target will be the one who has won the game for that round, right? So let's say maybe the target is 5 and the user entered 4 and the computer entered 9. So you could see that the user's input is very close to the target as compared to, right? And there will be another thing. The second thing is, in case maybe the target is 5 and the user entered 4 and the computer also suggested 4. Now you see the value of the user is the same as the value of what the computer chose. So we're going to give the score to the user. That's another bonus point for that one. So we're going to do all these things now. So let's get started. So first, let me add a panel. A panel is a lightweight container that holds other components, right? So let me add a panel. This panel will hold, the computer's components, like text field where it's going to display the scores and the numbers that the computer suggested, right? So this is it. This is my panel. Then let me add another panel. This one will be for the user. This is for the user. All right. Okay. Let me see. Yes, it looks fine now. Okay. Now I've added, see this, the panel, as I said, it's a lightweight container that holds other components. So I also have to make sure I make in this panel, I add a layout to it so that how I'm going to drop my component to be somehow better or look good. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to add an absolute layout to this one, then the same one to this one, so I can start adding my components here. So initially, let me add a text field to my user. So this is the user's text field. This is where the user will input, the value between 0 and 9. Let me also add a label here to describe score. Then another text field also here. So let me call this label score. Then let me call this one score text field. Score text field is TF. See where I'm doing this one? All right. Then let me call this one user input, right? User input. Now let me make this one center. Let me increase the font a little bit to, let me say, 20. Okay, 22 is fine. All right. So let me do same for the computer here. I will add a text field here, just like this. Come on, no, sorry. There's a text field for the computer, where the computer will also show, the random number he generated. Then let me also add this a label to display a score. So let me add this one to score. Yeah. Then I add a text field. This text field will display the computer's score. So I said computer score, right? Sorry, computer score. As I call this one, I think I call this one user score, right? No, okay, let me call this one user score text field. Yeah, so let me add this one to text field to this one too. Text field. All right, thank you. Okay, so I'll add a button here. All right, let me show you. There's a button here. There's a button. I'm going. Oh, sorry. Let me repass this one. I think I made a wrong move here. Let me add a button here. Where's the button? Come on. Should be here. Something doesn't look right. At least I'm coming. Yeah, welcome back. I think I made a few mistakes here. All right, let me reverse this one. Okay. So I have this one. This is the computer score, where the score the computer has had so far will be displayed, and the same goes for the user. Right. Okay. So let me add a button here. a button. Call this one button. Then let me label this one guess. Yeah, let me call it guess. All right. Okay. Should you let me differentiate between these two so that we know which one we're working with now? Okay. So this is for the user. Come here. All right, it's not easy, right? Okay, so let me add a label here. This for the computer, and this is for the user. Does it make cool? Yep. All right, so let me call this one user. Okay, or better still u. Let me increase the size more to 24. All right, 24 is fine. Then make it center. The same thing applies to this one. This one is for the computer. This is 24 here. So I did the other one. Then let me make this one also center. All right. So this is it. Okay. Okay. So we also want to make sure you have other components here, like round, maybe round 1, round 2. Okay. Okay, so let me do this one first. This will be the target. Say target. Then let me add a text field. The target will be displayed here. So let me call this one target text field. Then let me add another label on top here. I'm going to call this one round. No, wait. Sorry. I'm going to call this one round. Oh. Spelled it wrongly. Then let me add a text field to this one too, to display the round that we are in now. So this will be round text field. All right. Okay. So let's run this one and see what we're going to get here. I'm going to enter. So this is it. This is our game. It looks fine. No, somehow nasty, but it's fine. So this is the game. We're going to enter a number here. Let's say the number is 5. We press on this, the guess. Then a target will be displayed here. Then the computer will also enter his choice also here. We're going to compare this 5 to this 5 with this one, right? I mean the target here. So when you find out that this one is more closer to this, we say, oh, maybe the user won. When we find out that this one is also closer or the same as this one, then you say the computer has win. Okay. So in case maybe the user enters 5 and the computer also decide on 5, that means we're going to give the win to the user as a bonus, right? Okay. Yeah, thank you. It looks fine. Now. It looks some way. Let me just add some colors to, the background here and this one so that it will look very fine here. So let me click on the panel here. I can change the background also from here. So let me go to name colors. I like some colors here, just like this color. I like this color. Then let me change this one too. Something like this. Yeah, I think there's a difference between these two. All right. Yeah. Okay. This is cool. This is also cool. Fine. All right. So now let me also add another button here. This button will display. It will help us to move to the next round in case maybe we finish with this first round. So initially, this one will be set to 1, so that we know that we are in the first round. All right. So let me add a button down here. There's a button. Next round. Let me call this one next round. Next round. Then I will say, okay, round button. Round. No, come here. Round button. That's the name here, the variable name. I've declared this one. Okay. Thank you. All right. So now I think we are good to go. We are done with the design here. So this for the computer, this for the user. All right. Okay. So some of these things we have to make this one not editable because this one will be decided by the computer. This calls to make it non-editable, then the same as this one. This will be the only part we are going to edit because this is the part we're going to enter the value or maybe the number. Do you get it? So let me make this one non-editable. You can just decide it from here. You just uncheck this one. The same thing applies to this. You uncheck this one. The same thing applies to this. You uncheck this one because that one display the score of the user. Then the target too, that one will be displayed by the computer. So let me uncheck this one. Then also the round two. Yeah. Okay. No, let me do this one. Yeah, I think it looks fine now. All right, so let me just run it again and see what we have so far. Wow, so now you see. Now this part is not editable. The same thing applies to this one. This is the only part you can edit. That means this is the part you're going to enter the value 4 or let's say 9. So in case maybe the user enters 45, that means the value is out of range because you want the numbers to be between 0 and 9. So we're going to add programs or maybe codes to this one so that we make sure the code or maybe um you make sure the user has entered the value between these. All right. Okay. So let me close this one. It seems this one is not showing well, so I have to just stretch this one a little bit, right? All right. The next round. Let me stretch this one. Let me increase it. Okay, to this side. Yeah, I think now it'll be better when you run it again. Okay. Now let's go back. Let's go to the code and we start coding. Let's go to the source. So now that's what you have here. Now things have been made clear now, right? Let me go back here and do something first. You see the round here, right? Initially, you have to set it to 1. So let me go and say, okay, this one. Round.set text. Let me say, okay, this is 1, right? So let's run and see what we're going to get. Good. So now you see 1 has been shown here. So that means this is our first round. But I don't like it when it's showing to the right. I like it when it's showing. I don't like when it's showing to the left. It is the left. Okay. I like it when it's showing in the center. All right. Okay. So let me make sure. From here. This is it. This is what I want to do. So I'll just make it center. Let me make this one also center. Because all of these things, I'll just be needing them, everything in center. The same applies to this guy, center. All of them. This one to center. Already in the center. Ha ha ha. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's pretty fine. Okay, so shall we boss on? All right, so let's start. Okay, so let me do one more thing. Now we want to add an action performed, an event to this button here. When you click on this button, you want something to happen, right? So we call this, we have to add an event, right? So we can double click on this one on the guest, or maybe you can just right click on the guest. Then there will be an options here. You go to add event handler, you go to action, then you select action performed. So it will redirect you to the source part. Then you see the event has been added here. So that's why we're going to add most of our codes because when you enter or maybe when you press on the button, on this button, something must happen, right? No, let me rename this one. Let me rename this button. And I want it to call him guess button, right? Guess button because we're going to use him a lot here. So let me get back to here. Yeah. So this is the guess button, right? Okay. So now this we're going to add most of our codes here. Do you get it? All right, that's fine, that's fine. So now, I'm coming, excuse me. Yeah, okay, I'm back now. I needed to take in some water. I'm really tired. Okay, so now this the event you have added to the guest button. So when you we click on the guest button, something must happen. And these are the things we're going to work on here, right? So let's do something here. Oh, let me go up here. Let me do something. Now I need to declare some variables here. Let me say int computer score. Computer score. Let me make this one 1. Then int user score. This one to 1. Then another one int round. This one to 1. No, we're going to need this one later. You don't worry about it now. Okay. All right. So let's go back to here. We want to work on these ones here. Okay. Okay, so let's continue. Now we want a target number. That target will be a random number. Then also want a computer's choice. The computers who have to also choose a number between 0 and 9. All right. So this one is a random number. So you have to declare a random number. So let's say int computer choice. No, computer choice to be equal to. Then let's say, okay, so now we want a random number, right? So in Java, this is what you do, math.random. Just select this one, math.random. Now you want the number to be between 1 and 9. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to multiply this one by 10, right? But before that, we also have to cast, because this will give us a double. So we want to cast this one as an int. So this is what we're going to do. This one give us a double, right? Maybe in decimal. So we need to do this one to math.floor, something like this. Let me choose this one. No, wait. Then let me put the whole of these codes inside here. Okay, you let me cancel this one. Then let me put this one here. So math.random also here. Then let me multiply this one by 10. Okay. So now I have to add something here. Something like this. Now everything looks fine now. All right. Okay. So I need the same code for the target, right? So let me copy this one. Let me come down here. So int, let me say target number. Target number. The same thing goes here. Let me paste it here. All right. So it looks fine because these are random numbers. It will be generated randomly. So this one will be for the target, and this one also be for the computer's choice, right? Then we also need the input. So int input, the one that the user will also enter. But you see, what the user will enter wouldn't just definitely or maybe directly come. It's an object, so we have to convert it because we want it to be an integer, so we have to convert it as an integer. So this is why we do it in Java. So you say integer dot value of, then where the value of is coming. Wait. So this one is coming from, I think it's coming from that value. Oh, what am I now? Oh, come on. Let me get back here. Okay, let me just close this one so that this error wouldn't happen. Okay, let me get back here. Okay, this is it. So this is coming from the user input. That's the name that you want. This is the name of this text field, user input, right? So let's get back there. or better still, let me copy this one so that I can just paste it in there. All right, so let me get back to where I was. This is it. So user input dot get value. So we're going to get that value, right? No, dot get text. Sorry, let me get rid of this one. Then dot int value. So this is it. We are done. So any value that we're going to enter, good. We are going to know what we want to do with it. So now let's continue. Now we have the input, but as I said, we want the input to be between 0 and 9. So we have to add codes for that one so that it will reject, or maybe there will be an error thrown or an exception thrown when maybe somebody enters a number higher than 9 or a number lower than 0. All right, so let's do that. So we add an if statement. So we say if in brackets input, this input we have here, this input, right, is greater than or equal to 0, and that same input is less than or equal to 9, right, then we need something else. We want to throw an exception with this J option pin. We call it J option pin dot show, no wait, dot show confirm dialog. Now I put null here, then let me add the error message here. The message is please enter a number between 0 and 9. No, wait, 9. Right. Then let me give a title. The title is, this is an error message. Yeah, error message. That one displayed on the confirm dialog. So there's an error message. Then let me add this one to, it's okay, J option pin dot error message. Good. Then let me add another one to J option pin dot information something information message. Yeah, thank you. Now it looks fine, right? Dot information, come on, dot information message. Yeah, let me add this one there. Now it looks fine now. Okay, right. So now this is the else that we have here. So now most of our codes will come down here, right? I mean, on this first block here, this first block, in case maybe the user enters a number above 9. Now this one will come out as an error, right? So this dialog will be open telling the user please enter a number between 0 and 9. This will be the title, and this will be just to show that there's an error message, and just to show that it's an information message you are giving up, right? Okay, so let's continue. Now you're going to add another we need to add another thing also here, right? Now you also have to make sure that now since you want to compare the input and also compare the computer choice or with the target, okay, so now if we also have